Hey guys, it is Andrea, and today I'm coming at you with the plan with me in my Aura Estelle cloud using the Aura Estelle A5 wide inserts. This week I am using the Mother's Day exclusive art from my shop. I think this turned out super cute, a really soft, I don't know, just like a sweet spread. I was kind of bummed this week planning because normally I don't like to use silver 2 weeks in a row, and I had just used silver the last week, and I think that spread turned out so beautiful. Um, but I don't know what it was. I just feel like I'm not used to using silver 2 weeks in a row. I'm more of a gold person or a hollow, lavender hollow, sparkly hollow, champagne lights. Give me something fun. But silver is like to me one of the most boring foils. So I think I was just kind of like, I'm ready for next week. But I think this turned out really cute as just like a really nice, simple Mother's Day spread. I did use some little like Franken planning to make a custom little like fan box, which I thought was really cute. And I just kind of kept it pretty basic with the foil. I used the bow washi overlay that you can buy in all 5 foils, I believe. And then I also did use, I think I used Twinkle as the like foil type this week, and I think it turned out really pretty. I was going to use some hearts, but I had just used hearts the last week, and then I also used a box from the Mother's Day quotes, and I think that turned out really cute as well. This week was kind of a chill week for the most part. Nothing like crazy happened, but I think, we can all use a chill week here and there, so I wasn't mad at it. I think that this week I didn't use that many extenders. I think I used maybe one just to be able to use some extra full boxes. I am still going to do an extender video. I hope to do that either this week or next week because I feel like my last video I just felt like I was kind of like all over the place in my like thought process. So I feel like I've collected my thoughts since then, and I want to show you how to use them, how they were like intended to be used, and then just kind of show you guys how I use them because as you guys can see from whenever I use extenders, I don't use them the intended way. I just feel like since I've been using them for so long, I've just come up with different kind of like tips and tricks and like ways to make things like easier on myself. It's less lining things up. I mean, I guess you still have to line things up, but it somehow always works out a little bit better for me whenever I do it this way. So I'm excited to show you guys this version of extenders, how I kind of hack them. And they also last longer because usually I cut them in half. So it's always nice as well. But yeah, I think that is basically everything for the base. I did mess up and put the box on backwards, which I don't think I've ever done before, but I thought that was really funny. But I just used some undo, which is like literally the greatest invention. I don't even know who in the planner community was like, everybody needs undo, but like whoever like brought it to the community, thank you so much. You're a savior. You've like saved so many spreads for me. So kudos to you. If anybody knows who it was, let me know in the comments down below because it was probably on like a Facebook group or something. So this week I was 8 weeks pregnant. So I eventually at some point put that in the sidebar. On Monday, Nick's parents came over. This week, I think, or is it next week? Yeah, next week I didn't really have a lot in, I think, or maybe it was the week before. I don't remember, but I was putting like McDonald's in third boxes, and that's when I got nothing going on. So on Monday, like I said, Nick's parents came over, and then Nick had a little like minor surgery this day. So they came over to watch the boys so that I can drive Nick to and from. I just watched YouTube videos in the car while he went in, and it was just like not far away either. So it wasn't like super fast, super long or anything like that. And then whenever we came home, Nick just wanted to like relax in bed, obviously. So I hung out with Bennett in my office for a while. He loves like hanging out and just like, playing with stickers or whatever is around. And while Theo was taking a nap, and then whenever Bennett was down for quiet time, I hung out with Theo in the playroom and just chilled with the boys this day. I got like all my work done that I needed to because I knew that this would be a tough couple of days for Nick. So I then got us Cane's for lunch because Nick was like really hungry and Cane's isn't like super far away. So we got that. He actually said that he was hungry for it tonight, and I was like, no, we haven't tacos because I've been like meal planning and like sticking to it, and I have been loving it. And I also feel like just eating out at most places just makes me feel sick, just because like I think it's all like the grease and like just unhealthy food. Not that everything I'm eating at home is necessarily healthy, like at all, but I just feel like when you make something at home, it's like just somehow like not as like heavy and yucky. So we got that for lunch that day, and then I hung out with the boys, gave them baths, and then whenever the boys went to bed, Nick and I watched Mitchell's versus the Machines, which was really good. I feel like it was such a long movie though. Like, I remember being like, Nick, like, how much is left of this? Because we go to bed at like 10, like sleep at 10. We are like in bed normally at like 7:30 unless I have voiceovers to do, which I have tonight, or Nick's like playing video games with his friends, which he is tonight. Otherwise, we're in bed by like 7:30, like watching movies or TV shows. Right now we're watching The Handmaid's Tale, which it is like a journey. Like, no spoilers, please. Please, no spoilers. Even though, like, I don't think there's not like it ended or anything, so I don't think there's anything like too wild, but just don't spoil it for me, because like that, like, we will not be best friends after that. But that's what we've been watching recently, because we were watching an old season of 90 Day Happily Ever After, and Happily Ever After is the most boring, for the most part, 90 Day like spinoff show, I guess it would be called, that there is. And it's just like, especially the older seasons where you know where a lot of the people end up, like if they're together or not, it's just like, ugh. And then also I feel like 90 Day as a series and as like a company has like, they've learned a lot, and especially about like what's interesting to put on versus what's like not, and like just storylines, they're just better now. So I just feel like we've been so out of it, so we've been just watching like other stuff because we're just like not interested in watching old 90 Day right now. So that's what we're watching Handmaid's Tale and anything else that's on, which we do have a lot of shows on. We have like Smothered on, 90 Days on, I think that's it actually. I was watching Lego Masters with Nick, but it's just kind of boring. Like, I feel like the first season was like fun because it was like new and different, but I feel like the second season, like so many of the challenges are just like slight spin-offs of the old challenges, and it's like cool to see like what they come up with, but I don't really care about the in-between. So I just like told Nick like, hey buddy, this is gonna be like a you show now, which happens a lot like with Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place. Like, I just kind of was like, sorry, I don't really care about this show. And he's like a kind of person who can totally not care about a show and watch it. But I'm like, if I don't care about a show, I just sit there. I'm like, I'm bored. What else can I do? I could be working. What else should I do? I can go watch this, or I could read a book. I don't know. So anyways, I don't even know how I got there from talking about Mitchell versus. It was cute. It was just so long. Like, it was such a long movie. But I like was cackling at the mall scene. I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was cute. It didn't change my life, but like if you haven't watched it, I would definitely recommend. Like, it was a good movie, and it's on Netflix, so it works. Then on Tuesday, I got the boys up and did like the whole morning routine by myself, and Bennett was like a wreck this day. And then Nick and I had to run to work this day, and when I go to work, I just sometimes just talk to Kirsten. So I put up this munchkin poking the other one, because this is basically us for like an hour, because we just yap, 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 yap. That's me and Kirsten. And then we found out that we had a nail in our tire, which is like, it's just going to happen for probably like years, because we live in a construction zone basically. But it was just like annoying because we'd only lived in the house for like a month or two, and we already had a nail in our tire. But thankfully, I think it was like fixed for free, possibly. I don't remember. Nick's dad actually took it in. And then we had ramen tatsuya for lunch, which is so yummy. I hadn't had ramen for forever. And well, we had it like last year, but we had it to go a couple of times. But this was the first time that we went, and it was really cool because they actually do reservations now, which they had never done reservations before at this ramen place. And it's like our favorite ramen place. But like sometimes you'd have to wait for like a half an hour to like go through the line. And it's crazy because like the food itself, like you order it and then your food is at your table within like 2 minutes. But like it's always just so packed, especially in the winter when it's like ramen time, like ramen weather. Ugh, forget about it. But now they're doing reservations. I hope they keep them because like honestly, like best decision ever. I just feel like it's just so much less stressful. because there's so many times that we would drive all the way to like either location and it would just be like a 40-minute line for ramen. And I'm like, why? But it is so good, so I get it. But like, reservations are where it's at. But anyways, they had an outdoor patio, which had like cubbies made, which was really cool. I like that. Or like if you go to a place and they have like partitions between the booths, I just think that's nice and thoughtful. So I was really happy with my experience, and I'm really hoping through the winter they keep reservations, because I would totally love to go in like December when it's chilly and wear a sweater and eat ramen outside. But like, I know that without reservations, it's just like, you're gonna go get ramen, drive a half an hour there, wait 45 minutes, then get your ramen, and it's just like a whole thing. But like, please, I'd be so happy. It would make my whole life basically. But I just love ramen tatsu. It's so good. And then I played outside with the boys for a while, and then took a shower with Bennett, and we got Chewy's for dinner. I love Chewy's. It just gives me too much heartburn, and I think even that night, I think this is the night I figured out that I was just like, I can't do it. But I love their queso so much. It's just like, I've had so many quesos, and it's my favorite queso. Velvet Taco, I also think has a really good queso, but their quesos, like their tacos are weird. Like, they're not like, it's just like a weird queso. Like the ones like, I don't know what it has in it, like basil and like something else, but it's not like, it doesn't like a traditional queso. I don't know, but they're still good in their own way. But Chewy's has the best queso. It's so good. And their chips are perfection. Their jalapeno ranch is amazing. Ugh, it's just so good. But it just would give me so much heartburn, so I just stay away right now. Then this night we also watched Promising Young Woman, which I wasn't like, I don't even really think I heard much about it. I know a lot of people like were like into it, but no one had told me anything about it really, or I haven't watched a trailer. I feel like I've been watching trailers recently. I kind of like it that way, because I feel like trailers a lot of the times give away so much now that you're like, okay, did I just watch the whole movie? Like, what? But I watched the movie and I loved it. I was like, at first I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, wow. I was like, wow. So if you haven't watched it, I recommend it. I feel like it was really good. And then I felt super sick this night. Basically, for like 8 weeks, I felt super sick. So if I put in that I was super sick, or like Nick put it in that I felt super sick, then I was like really sick. So it was probably the Chewy's. That's probably why I haven't had it since then. Then on Wednesday, I woke up because I had a really bad dream, and then I put in that I was a computer hacker, which is just like a really long story, but it's like super funny, and so I wanted to put it in. And then I cuddled Nick for a little bit. He was just kind of like, he was a trooper, but he was like just kind of sad, like a sad puppy, you know, like a sick, sad puppy. That was Nick for a couple of days. He doesn't handle being sick very well. He's just almost a little dramatic, especially like if he throws up. Like, I feel like throwing up, I'm like, I'm used to it now. Nick throws up, it's a whole thing. I remember, I'll tell you guys a story. So I remember our 5-year anniversary, which was like 8 years ago. We were supposed to go to King of Prussia in Pennsylvania to do like a weekend trip, and we were so excited for it. And the night we were supposed to leave and drive down to King of Prussia, which was like, I think like an hour and a half drive, hour and a half, somewhere, I think around there. I think an hour and a half sounds right. And Nick woke up and just puked everywhere, like literally everywhere. Like, it was on the floor, on the walls, everywhere. And I was on my hands and knees scrubbing because, you know, I love him. So I'm just going to take care of him. He's sick. I'm cleaning it up, blah, blah, blah. Trooper. I trooped through the whole trip because he was just miserable. So I had to like go get him food and stuff. But we were like, we didn't want to lose money on the reservation, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. So then a couple of days later, like whenever we got back, I got super sick. Like, I think basically the same kind of sick, but I didn't like puke everywhere because I have a lot more control over like where my puke goes. I like puked in the bathroom like a normal person, and he was like nowhere to be found. He's like, you got this, right? And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you know, whenever Nick's sick, it's a thing. But whenever I'm sick, it's like, I'm a trooper. I got this. That's your story for today. Then let's see. Nick took naps. We got our solar power quote thing. I don't really understand the whole solar power things, but you know, if we get a crazy snowstorm in Texas, it'd be really helpful to have that. Or if the grid can't handle the heat, with all the people using air conditioning and stuff. Be really nice to have that as well. So apparently we got solar quote this day. So there's that. I think we're gonna get actually the panels in like within the next month, which is really exciting. I thought they were back ordered, but I think it's the batteries that are back ordered. I don't remember. Who knows? Then I laid in bed and slept. I think I like fell asleep like waiting for Nick or something like that. And then we went to bed really early this night, probably like 8, honestly. On Thursday, we went to that like third party place I told you guys about in my last video where I confirmed the pregnancy. I had mentioned that the lady was running late, which is fine. I totally get it because the people in front of us were doing like the like 4D picture thing and the baby was just not like working. So I was like, whatever, like I totally get it. But she was like, oh yeah, we'll bring you in next week and we'll do like a heartbeat, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago actually, I don't remember. We'll do like a heartbeat confirmation. And it was actually, I think my doctor's appointment was supposed to be the day before this, but my doctor called on like Monday and was like, hey, we would have you come in, but like, let's have you come in 2 weeks versus having you come in this week and then in 2 weeks again. And I was like, well, thankfully I have this because I was just like stressed. So we went in, we heard the heartbeat, which was super cute. And then we went home and I threw up and then Nick threw up. Normally well, especially in this pregnancy, I didn't mark every time I threw up, but this was just funny because like I threw up and then Nick threw up. And then I put in that like this like really annoyed munchkin, I think it was a munchkin. I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet, but so that all happened. It was just a bad day. But like also a good day because like hearing the heartbeat is like definitely like is like a stress reliever, I feel like, because I feel like just the beginning of pregnancy is just all kinds of stress. But us just being like so sick, and then I put, oh wait, what does it say? I think it says FU on it, and I just wrote bye because this was just like a really annoying day. And then Nick's parents came over. It ended up being a good day though, because then Nick's parents came over and we told them that I was pregnant this day. I was only 8 weeks. Usually I wait even 12 weeks just to tell family members, but I feel like, once you hear the heartbeat, it's like a little safer-ish, sort of. I don't know. I was really taking my chances. So they came over and we told them, and I was really excited to tell them because Nick's mom was so bummed whenever I told her that I was only having 2 kids. Granted, this woman has 11 grandkids. 11. This will be her 12th grandchild. But she was so stoked, and I told her that this was her early Mother's Day present, and I'm not giving her anything better the rest of her life. This is the best gift that's going to happen. So she was really excited. And then I also texted Bree and told her that I was pregnant. And it was funny because I was in the shower when I texted her. I'm a weirdo who texts when I'm in the shower. I don't know why. Or it's just even had my phone. Like normally I don't like initiate texts in the shower, but if you text me and I'm in the shower, I probably will answer you. I don't know. I'm weird. I don't know. But I texted her while I was in the shower and I was like, hey, so like, are you sitting down? It's like, basically people know good stuff's like I'm gonna tell you a good story if I tell you, are you sitting down? But she's like, yeah. And I told her I was pregnant, and then there was like a ... Like, she was typing and then like it just disappeared. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, sorry, I passed out. What? And she's just so funny. But I remember whenever she told me she was pregnant, she was like, I took a pregnancy test. And I was like, why? And she's like, because. And I was like, but you're not pregnant. And she's like, but I am. And I'm like, oh my God. So, and I remember the last time I told her I was pregnant, she was like, what? She wasn't expecting it either. But it's always fun. It's always a good time. And then Nick and I just cuddled in bed for a little bit because we had a long day. That day was long. Then on Friday, we had a fence install. So basically, it's just when there's a story. Such a headache. So whenever we built this house, for some reason, they decided not to like lay out the property line. They've done it to like basically every house that's on this street or that we've seen or we've built or we've been around. They like show you the property line. They didn't show us the property line. They never had like stakes for it. I feel like it was just a real like cluster last year of building houses. Like if you build a house last year, I'm sure my friend Maggie also did, and is also like a trash hole for her too. And so that was the whole thing. And they were like, okay, where do you want your fence to be? And we're like, we figured that like it wouldn't be very beneficial for us to have the fence go much past the back of the house, right? But it ended up to be that on the one side of our house, the majority of our flat yard is like on the side of the house, and there's a lot of it. So we hired the same people who did the fence for the house to like move the fence up. They did a really good job. I feel like you cannot tell that like we moved the fence, which is awesome, but we gained like so much flat yard. But I'm just so annoyed still because we wouldn't had to have paid anything for it if we would have been able to see our property line, but it wasn't shown to us, so it was like we had to pay out of pocket for it. So that was annoying, but it was totally worth it because our house is like on a hill basically, and that was, like I said, like 50%, we gained 50% of flat space by moving our fence up. So it was worth it, but it was annoying. And then I made Nick go to Target for saltines because this day I was not feeling good. And I marked in that I threw up carrots because who throws up raw carrots? Like I ate raw carrots and I threw up and I need a drink. It was just such a sad day because I was like eating. Basically, at this point, for the couple days, I was eating, like, since I had Chewies, I had been eating, like, vegetables and, like, safe things, like potatoes and, like, bread, and I threw up carrots. Like, come on, universe. Give me a break. Thankfully, I'm not in that stage anymore. Then we booked a Disney trip, which is just kind of sad thinking about it now because we didn't end up going. And then I told Kirsten about the baby. I was going to tell Kirsten in person, but I actually was thinking, I was like, I've always told Kirsten through FaceTime. It always ends up happening that way. For some reason or another, I always tell her through FaceTime. I think it's because I get impatient. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll tell her next time I see her. And then I don't know when I'm going to see her next. And then I'm like, well, I just want to tell her now because I feel like, the last time I think she knew. But this time I don't think she knew because, like, basically we hadn't seen each other a ton because, you know, COVID and everything. Hold on, let me take a drink. I FaceTime her and had Bennett, like, show her the ultrasound picture, and she's like, what, you? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, my God. She's like, I'm so sorry. It's so funny. And somebody mentioned in a comment in my last video, which I've thought about before, how I got these Happy Day stickers that were, like, little bears. And I think I accidentally ordered the 3 kid and 2 adult ones, and I was like, I'm gonna give these to Kirsten, which I actually did because I was like, oh, Kirsten's gonna be for sure the one to get pregnant next, and I have no plans on having another kid. Kirsten, I might need those back. So, yeah. Let me watch 90 Day Happily Ever After. Saturday, I took Bennett to Nick's parents because he wanted to go hang out with the in-laws. Basically, he just likes going up in their attic. Like, he's just such a weirdo. I love him so much. His new recent thing is that every time I do something, he like does something to like not help me, but then yells teamwork. Like I'll be saying, hey Siri, timer 10 minutes. And he'll like say it over top of me so Siri like can't understand what I'm saying. And then afterwards he yells teamwork. And I'm like, it's not, I mean, sure, I guess, but like not at the same time. He's so funny. I can't even. Then I got McDonald's for lunch, which was probably actually no, I think I only got French fries, so it wasn't like too bad. And then we did blood work. So I normally do just the genetic blood work, and that tells you the sex of the baby. And it also tells you a lot about like genetic things, like markers for different like Down syndrome or whatever. There's like a slew of things it checks for. But this time I was like, I'm bored. And the place that we found, that third-party place, does Sneak Peek. Which I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's a like a gender early, like you could do it as early as 8 weeks. And mine was correct. So you can do it at home. And at home, I think you just like prick your finger and put blood in the thing. And you have to make sure that there's no male DNA anywhere near it. But the place that I went to, it's called clinical, so they'll do it for you. So it's a lot more accurate because it can't be like tainted by anybody like being around it or any male DNA. Because basically it measures the male DNA in your blood. And if there's no male DNA, then you're having a girl. And then if there is male DNA, then you're having a boy. So we did the blood work that day I did it. The blood work that day for that, and super easy. And that was that. We got the like email, I think like either the next week or the next week. So I'll tell you guys about that then. I think it might be the next week. Was it? I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know. We'll talk about it then. But then we went to Nick's parents because, wait, did we? Or Nick's parents came here. Yeah, wait, what? What day am I on? Nick's parents. Yeah, we went to Nick's parents and we had chili cheese dogs and tots. I did not have that. I don't remember what I ate. I think I might have just had a couple tater tots because I was just not feeling well at this time. I do love chili cheese dogs though, but my chili, I don't like beans in it. Let me know if you're also in that or if you like your chili with beans in it. But I had a chili whenever we went to the beach that had no beans in it. It was like Texas style. Oh my gosh, was that so good. And that's something else. I'm going to work on pierogies next week. But I think after that, it'll give me such bad heartburn. But I think I want to master a chili with no beans. That's my next goal after pierogies. Because I'm like ready on pierogies. I watched all the videos. I have all the recipes. I'm going to do it. And I'm so excited. And it seems pretty simple. So I'm really, really pumped. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. Then I took a shower with Bennett, and then on Sunday was Mother's Day. I got to sleep in. I was so excited about that. And then I also got presents from the boys and Nick. Bennett got me wax melts. Nick always lets him pick out something from like Etsy for me, which is super cute. And he got me these little heart wax melts. And then Nick got me this really cute like drawing. It's like an outline drawing of him, Bennett, and Theo, which is really cute. So, and it was in like a gold frame. So loved that. And then I put in that I just laid in bed with Nick, I think like while the boys had their quiet time and nap. And then we went to Nick's parents because usually I host dinners for like holidays, but I've just not been in the mood. Like for the 4th of July, we're going over to Nick's parents, which is normally something that like I feel like I would do, have everybody come over. But I just feel like I've just been not in the mood to like cook. I've actually been in the mood to cook now, but we planned the 4th of July beforehand. And also Nick's dad has like, I think I mentioned like the flat top grill, and I really want this recipe. I don't remember what her name is. It's like Laura. It's like an Italian last name, I think. But she does cooking videos, and she did this one that was like on the, is it called the grill, the Firestone or something like that? It's like a flat top grill, and it's like this steak, and it's so stinking delicious. And so I think that that's also the reason I want to go over there is because Nick's dad can make it on his grill because he has the flat top one. Anyways, we had golden chick, which I never had before. I'd always passed him and like this looks kind of like not the greatest, but whatever. But we had it, and their like roasted chicken is, their mashed potatoes taste kind of like Bush's chicken, and then they had like a side salad. Oh, it was so good. And then Amanda came over with cinnamon rolls. It's funny because Amanda said she was gonna come over with cinnamon rolls like to deliver in Christmas time, and she never did. And Nick's always been like, so when's that gonna happen? So she brought cinnamon rolls over this night. Nick was so happy. And then we just stayed up super late and chit-chatted. But that's everything for this week. I hope that you guys like this week's video. And I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.